The Northwest capital has a diverse history. The Khoi and the San lived in the area for many years before they were joined by migrating Tswanas. The Barolong Bo Ratshidi established their chieftaincy here and called it Mahikeng, which means place of rocks, after the rocky outcrops found in the area. During the 19th century, the expanding voortrekkers and the establishment of the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republiek became a threat to the autonomy of the Barolong. Chief Monsieur then called on the British for protection.
The first siege of Mahikeng in the early 1880s, and then that was followed by Monsieur repeatedly calling for British military assistance against the Boers, because sooner or later they were actually going to take over his land completely as they were coming in westwards from the Transvaal.
The British defeated the voortrekkers and declared a British protectorate. Their presence could still be seen and felt many years later.
There was the Imperial Reserve, where the British Commissioner had his offices. He went to work in a Rolls Royce, driven by a soldier in uniform. He stayed in town in Victoria Street, that stone building there. He stayed there. And he used to travel to Bechuanaland in that with Union Jack, driven by a soldier going to Lobate and Gaborone.
The town was originally named Mahikeng, but in January 2010, the name Mahikeng was approved and gazetted.
The Barolong in particular had no F in their language. They had a sound made as if you bring out a lamp, Mahikeng. The other Botswana had Mahikeng, FH. But as I grew up in the stud here, the old Dr. Molema and those people who were there at that time simply said Mahikeng, Mahikeng, not Mahikeng. But then came the writing of Setswana by Robert Moffat. He sort of standardized the alphabet, and the F was introduced, and people started saying Mahikeng.
Mahikeng was also the home of prominent figures in the African National Congress, namely Nakamudiri Molema and Sol Plaatje.
The cultural heritage of this town is quite enormous, particularly when you think of individuals like Sol Plaatje, who was extremely significant in the part that he played. Firstly, as a writer, much of his writing was actually done while he was here, but also as a journalist, as a thinker, and as a writer. And perhaps more importantly, he was the first General Secretary of the African National Congress.
The town also prides itself as the place where the worldwide Boy Scout movement started. During the 1899 siege of Mahikeng, a small group of boys formed a cadet corps. This was the inspiration that led Major General Robert Baden-Powell to found the Scout movement. Lizette Labuskaghni, Morning Live, Mahikeng.